So, wow, there's a lot of clips of Ted Cruz. All right, so Ted Cruz went to the conservative Cringe convention and decided, I'm gonna start with the end and then we'll get into the actual, speech itself. Ted Cruz decided to do this.
Freedom! In the immortal words of William Wallace, freedom!
All right, so anyway, Ted Cruz started off his little bizarre, I don't even know what this is. And I just want to say thank God for Aaron Rupert for providing all these clips in a thread that I don't have to do any work for. So Ted Cruz is on CPAC talking about and making jokes about himself abandoning his constituents after killing them by voting for legislative agendas that, and again, with the Texas freeze, the grid was privatized. Right, the market was so free that people got hit with $18,000 electric bills for just a week of electricity, right? Well, he jetted off to Cancun, right? And so he's about to make a joke about that, about his constituents dying in the cold, including, I think there was an 11-year-old child dying in the cold. Let's see what Ted Cruz has to say.
CPAC.
Look at his body shape. This is one of the things that, you never really get to see this on television. Is look at this guy's body shape. What human being looks like this? Seriously.
I gotta say, Orlando is awesome. It's not as nice as Cancun. But it's nice.
All right. So anyway, okay.
Bernie is wearing mittens. And AOC is telling us she was murdered.
Okay, I just want to remind everyone, Bernie Sanders with his mittens raised millions of dollars for charity for poor students. AOC raised $5 million for charity to help people get food and water in the state of Texas, by the way, a state that she doesn't even live in, while Ted Cruz was flying off to Cancun. So again, this is just I really and also Bernie is wearing mittens. Is that an own? That's okay, it's cold. It's that's like saying, oh, you wore a jacket in the rain? What? I just
And the media desperately, desperately, desperately wants to see a Republican Civil War.
I mean, I do too, to be honest with you. So let's go.
How many of y'all have eaten at a restaurant in the last 6 months? Can I just stop and say how strange the rules are right now? I want to understand how this virus works. So when you walk in, you got to put your mask on. Sadly, I've got two. You walk in, you got to put your mask on. You
Look
sit
at his
down,
body shape,
take your
dude.
mask off. See, apparently the virus is actually connected to elevation.
I just want to say that this is one of the very painful reminders of why these cities like New York City and all these other states like, California, for example, having these really bizarre restaurant rules. All restaurants from from February of 2020, every single restaurant owner should have been given a year's or 2 years salary protections, right, for costs, and they should have shut down completely. No out-person dining, no takeout, nothing. They should have shut down all the restaurants entirely, because when you half-ass it, you get people like Ted Cruz going out there and criticizing those policies from the left, but doing it in service of right-wingers, and it's really just bizarre.
No, remember, this is all about science. It's actually, it may not be elevation. I think it's that there are hormones that are released in your thighs when you're sitting. So you can sit at the table and there's no virus being transmitted. But if you stand up, put the mask on!
This guy feels like he really is doing a comedy routine. Can I get the HBO special version of this with the exclusive camera angles?
We can have herd immunity everywhere, and we're going to wear masks for the next 300 years. And by the way, not just one mask, 2, 3, 4. You can't have too many masks.
I don't understand these people's fascination with masks. Like, is this what people were saying when people invented shirts? Wait, you're telling me you want to wear a shirt? Next, you're going to tell me you're going to wear 1, 2, maybe 3 shirts. Right? Like, I just, like, the idea, oh, you're going to wear pants? Wait, hold on. You're going to wear underwear underneath your pants? Why bother? No one can see them. Why bother? Right? Like, it's just like, what?
Virtue do you want to signal? This is just dumb.
And then all the fucking clowns in the audience are like, yes! Dying of a disease to own the libs! Like, I just like, oh my god.
There were reports that riots were going to come into mostly peaceful, fiery but mostly peaceful. There were reports riots were going to come into the suburbs. I got to tell you, in Houston, where I live, there weren't any rioters. Because let's be very clear, if there had been, they would discover what the state of Texas thinks about the Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms.
Wait a second. Okay, so the argument is that there are rioters in the suburbs, except there aren't, because if there were, we would kill them? So then there were no rioters in the suburbs. Therefore, what you said is meaningless. These are really good clips. And then, of course, this classic.
Words of William Wallace. Freedom!
What is happening? Like, what is wrong with these people? Like, look at his goofy face. Like, look at that. Hold up. I'm going... Computer. Enhance. Hold the phone. What is that? Like, garbage. Like, it's pure and utter garbage is what that is. Jesus. Hold up. Where is that? Here it is. This is like, again, it's one of those situations where you really have to wonder how a human being like Ted Cruz can even exist. Like, how is this even possible? Like, okay, so what is that face? Like, can you seriously, like, what is going on here? Like, what is that? Like, the guy looks kind of like Santa Claus, except, like, maybe a little bit younger. Like, seriously, like, what the fuck in, like, what is going on here? Like, I don't even, like, wow. Anyway, Ted Cruz not sending us best. And again, the idea that these people are still pretending that the virus doesn't exist is ridiculous. And again, the Democrats failing and flubbing on actually doing virus protections. Like, you see, Joe Biden wants to send kids to school, right? It's genocidal. It's disgusting. And of course, Republicans are going to pounce on that shit like no one, like, no, like, it really is just this whole feedback loop of Democrats just capitulating and, you know, saying, oh, trust the science, except when it comes to schools, except when it comes to that, except when it comes to that. And then you have the Republicans that go like, science doesn't exist. Look, the Democrats proved it. And then you've got this, you know, like, it's just, what is that? I don't know. It's something. To be honest with you, and to be completely 100% transparent, you know what this is?
Unbelievable.